welcome. I'm Melinda Chinami. Tonight, as calm returns to Abia State after days of crisis, more calls for the unity of Nigeria echoes across the country. Chief Justice of Nigeria challenges judges on the unity of Nigeria, says compliance to the rule of law will boost public confidence in the bar and the bench. Nigeria Labour Congress and United Labour Congress reignite dispute, disagree over planned industrial action by the ULC. And police in the United Kingdom arrest an 18-year-old man in connection with yesterday's attack on a London tube train.
On business news tonight, organised private sector asks federal government to consolidate on business-friendly policies in order to heal impacts from recession.
And on sports news tonight, Nigeria's D Tigers lose to Tunisia in the final of the FIBA Afrobasket in Tunis.
We begin tonight with what appears to be a promising development for Nigeria, the renewed call for a national unity from diverse groups following the clash between the Nigerian army and members of the indigenous people of Biafra this week. More leaders from different ethnic groups across the country have been talking about the need to embrace peace and ensure harmony. Others who live in states outside their places of origin have been assured of their safety, especially those staying in the north.
The ripple effect of the clash between soldiers and members of the indigenous people of Biafra gradually made its way to other parts of the country, but it is being handled with caution by all.
Our quota, we must ensure that whatever is there for us to do.
In this hall are leaders and representatives of people from other ethnic groups in Anambra State. They are not here for a blame game, but to tame the hydra-headed issue that is gradually threatening the country's unity.
But we don't have to wait until we feel unsafe.
Governor Willie Obiano's message of peace is delivered by the state's Commissioner for Local Government Affairs and Chieftaincy title.
His Excellency is telling us, brothers, that we should continue to be hospitable to our friends in our midst, even now more than ever before.
It is clear that they all want to vote for peace and unity of Nigeria and will also want to continue to enjoy the warm hospitality they get outside of their home states.
Our host, the indigenous of Anambra State, they regard us as really as indigenous of Anambra State. We thank Almighty Allah as He picks us to be here with them. Really, we come here on behalf of the crisis is happening in Nigeria or is happening in Aba and Port Harcourt. If it was before, Onitsha have already been left Onitsha to the north.
In Kano State, the story is not different. Leaders of Igbo community gather in folds outside their secretariat before settling for a meeting where they dissociated themselves from any group or organization threatening the unity of the country.
Inasmuch as we will not dwell in apportioning blames or asking for who is right or wrong. We are strongly advocating for peace and unity in the land. We also want to state categorically here that we are the Igbos residing and doing business in Kano State. Unequivocally state that we disassociate ourselves from the activities of IPOB.
Leaders of Igbo extraction in Nasarawa State also got words of assurance from the state governor in Lafia, the state capital.
The lives and property of our people, that we can assure the people that we've gotten assurances that everything is in order. People should go about their normal duties and activities, and we will be interfacing at intervals with all the security chiefs in the state. And by the special grace of God, everything is under control.
And as the message continues to resonate, the point is being reinforced, and that is, Nigeria's unity should not be trampled upon by anyone, either through the use of force or agitation by aggrieved persons.
Traditional rulers from the 6 geopolitical zones have added their voices to the discussion on how to foster unity in Nigeria. The monarchs who are meeting in Owerri, the Imo State capital, believe Nigerians can live in peace and challenge political leaders to steer the ship of the Nigerian state with care.
Traditional rulers from across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country converged on Owerri, the Imo State capital, for a lecture tagged Promoting Unity Through Cultural Orientation, aimed at finding a lasting solution to the recent clash between the Hausas and the Igbos in the northern and eastern part of the country, respectively. The chairman of the State Council of Traditional Rulers, Samuel Agunwa Ohiri, preaches unity, peace and oneness in the country.
This is a special opportunity for all to organize and discuss how to move our nation forward. You will produce some peace, brotherhood, and love across our community resources.
I am feeling our togetherness.
Towing the same lane is the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeye Ogunwusi, who believes the nation can only grow if we remain united.
Different tradition, different culture, different heritage, yet our diversity is our greatest strength. We shouldn't just write it off just like that. We should look beyond our various backgrounds. We should look at how to connect the dotted lines. Because of the sensitivity of this country, they said there's another dance in Igbo land called Python dance. I think I'm not going to accept Python dance.
Then the chief host, Governor Rochas Okorocha, takes the stage and throws a question to the audience.
For how long shall we continue with this unwarranted activities of disunity, speculations, and hate speeches, which we have gotten from the past generation, and we are doing nothing about it in this present generation? And we're intending to transfer it to the subsequent generation. That has become my worry. And I think this generation of ours owe it to the rest of Nigerians to make this one nation better and united.
The traditional rulers are expected to continue talks in Owerri with the hope that the rifts between the various groups in the country will be brought to an end and the nation can continue to exist in peace and harmony.
Part of the ways of promoting national peace is when judges are firm and guided by the rule of law, which in turn enables citizens to have confidence in the judicial system. This is according to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, who is challenging judges of Federal High Court to be above board in discharging their duties. He talked about this in Abuja at the swearing-in ceremony of the acting Chief Judge of the Federal High Court.
It is our responsibility to make sure that we return to the good old days. We return to a judiciary that commands respect. The perceptions will always be there because you don't strive to satisfy everybody. Because if you do that, you will fail. If you do that, you will be a hypocrite. And a judicial officer is not a hypocrite. So be guided always by the Constitution as you sworn to of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. When you do that and continue to do that, you will have no problem. That will ensure justice to all and sundry, because there is nothing greater than the rule of law. Because the skill you will and the sword is mighty. It cuts across. When once you come to the conclusion that this side weighs more than that, you have to apply the guillotine, no matter whose ox is gouged. Because that is the only way by which we can ensure justice to all. That is the only way by which the judicial powers of this nation can be properly harnessed and enforced. That is the only way by which we can ensure unity. Because the sense of injustice breeds disunity. And
Justice Walter Onogen, Chief Justice of Nigeria. Security has been identified as a major challenge ahead of the governorship elections in Anambra State. The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Nwachukwu Oji, made this observation during a meeting of the Nigeria Civil Service Situation Room in Awka, the state capital. His position was supported by the convener of the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, Mr. Clement Wankwo, who believes the ongoing operation by the Nigerian Army may affect the preparations.
Key elements are going to define the security environment for this election. Number one is the one I've mentioned before, the IPOB no election campaign. Number two is the general discontentment that you have in the southeast. It's going to rub off on the election pretty well. And then number three is that there's a tendency or possibility for the existing security challenges in the southeast to connect to election-related security challenges. So if you put all this together, this is the kind of thinking that defines the security environment around the election. And what do we do?
We need to begin to drum the message to security agencies, because part of what surprised a lot of us with the Operation Python 2 is that it looks like Operation Python Dance 1 was so very successful that they have to do a 2. We need to draw attention to this. That's why I said they were quite successful in exploiting 1, that they are going to 2. So these 2, I think we need to expose the fact that we don't need a 3, and that for 2 they need to pull back right away.
Still talking politics, many members of the former PDP national chairman, Ali Modu Sharif in Delta State, have defected to the All Progressive Congress, APC, led by the former PDP deputy national chairman, Cairo Udubo. The defectors were received at a ceremony in Agbo by the All Progressive Congress leaders. They include the Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, and the national vice chairman of the APC, Mr. Hilad Etta. The ceremony witnessed the symbolic dumping of the party membership cards into a wastebasket and the lowering of PDP banner, which signaled the rejection of the party by the former members. The APC National Vice Chairman, Mr. Etta, is optimistic that the new members have brightened APC's chances to defeat the ruling party in the state when it's election time. But the PDP Publicity Secretary in Delta State, Ifeanyi Uzoza, said the party is not losing any sleep over the switch, as the PDP is prepared to win all elections come 2019. Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has asked the military to defeat the ideologies that promote mindless killings and cause anarchy in the country, adding that Nigeria is confronted by enemies whose identities and motivations are unknown. Professor Osinbajo, who was speaking to military officers in Kaduna State, wants them to support the federal government's efforts in the war against Boko Haram insurgency and other emerging security challenges in the country. The event was the graduation of military cadets of the 64 regular course and Direct Short Service Course 44 at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna State. The Vice President challenged them to exhibit a high sense of loyalty, which the NDA is known for. In part 2, after the break, Delta State police arrest 2 persons over a shooting in Asaba Market, which left 4 traders dead yesterday.